have you. Welcome to the program. Thanks to Joe Pags Show. 1-800-383-9624. JoePags.com. Maybe somebody who's an election official can get a hold of me and let me know how this was electioneering, which doesn't make sense. And then there were people who sent me videos yesterday of Hillary Clinton showing up at some polling place in North Carolina where she's hugging an actress or somebody who is waiting for her there, and people freaked out. Isn't that electioneering? She really shouldn't be at a polling place. But again, in Texas, you've got to be 100 feet away from the machines, right? Or is it away from the physical building?
I thought it was from the physical building.
Well, if it is, and if North Carolina has a similar law, then she clearly electioneered. Maybe that's what should be taken away in handcuffs for electioneering. Everything else is fine.
I don't think that'll happen.
Don't worry about any of the other crap. But this one is going to be electioneering.
Electioneering?
Yeah, so, I mean, I don't see wearing a shirt saying deplorables or basket of deplorables in any way is pushing somebody to vote one way or the other. It's not a slogan of either campaign. It's just the words that Hillary Clinton said. So that's odd to me. Then, I posted that over my Facebook. Somebody immediately responded, the polls aren't true. The polls aren't true. He's going to win in a landslide. I urge people who are listening to not believe that. And I'm not calling this person out. I mean, fine. I think Trump's got a very, very good chance, too. Well, he's got as good a chance as she has. I've got to be honest with you. I think the media is all in cahoots with Clinton, and I don't even have to think about it. I know it from the fact that we presented to you from Project Veritas, James O'Keefe, the WikiLeaks emails from Podesta and all that. I mean, it's clear to me that it is the Hillary Clinton media, the HCM. But even saying that, don't assume that Donald Trump is going to win because you feel like he's going to win. Don't assume he's going to win because, of these big crowds and all that. Make no assumptions. Go your ass down to the polling place and vote. Do not assume anything. That's bad form. If you assume it and you sit on your hands on that day, we're going to have another 3 to 5 million people not voting that you would expect to vote for one side, the Republican side, like we saw in 2012. What was it, 2 to 5, 3 to 5 million? Conservatives, evangelicals, whatever, didn't go and vote. And a word to my friends in Utah. Stop it! I mean, this whole third guy, this conservative guy that's running, he might be somebody who is to take a look at going forward, and maybe he starts a movement. But do you really want to lose the election because you were standing up for some alleged principle that helps you sleep at night, and then give the election to Hillary Clinton, and you can say, yeah, but I didn't vote for her? Supreme Court justice picks are still going to affect you. Second Amendment restrictions will still affect you. First Amendment restrictions will still affect you. States having no rights whatsoever will still affect you. Doesn't matter whether you voted for Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. If you decided to vote for the third option there, and I don't mean Gary Johnson and Jill Stein. Who's the guy in Utah? The guy who's like tied.
I can't think of his name.
I can't either. Say it. Press the button, Polo. You can't whisper it. Say it again.
Evan McMullen.
Evan McMullen. Okay. Saw the guy on TV, saw him interviewed, heard what he had to say, says a lot of good things, says a lot of right things. I think that he might be somebody to keep an eye on. But even if you win one state, what did you prove? What you proved was you took it away from the person who, listen, the Republican can always assume Utah. You're going to take it away from the Republican, make it harder for him to win the general election, and you'll feel great about yourself, unless there's some big plan for Utah to secede and leave the Union, which you can't. This doesn't prove anything. It proves a third guy can win, I guess. But then you've got 3 or 4 Supreme Court justices that are exactly like Hillary Clinton. Restrict the Second Amendment, partial birth abortion all day. Have a nice one. You've got somebody who doesn't believe in the First Amendment where it comes to whether you have religious liberty and the right to say no to somebody who wants to force you to do something that goes outside of your religious beliefs. That's who Hillary Clinton is. So this guy, Evan McMullen, he might be somebody to look forward to in 4 years, 8 years, 16 years, whatever. But to do it now doesn't prove anything. If you're patting yourself on the back because you're the one or you're one of the people that are helping build his momentum, it doesn't make sense. He either isn't on the ballot or is a figment of people's imagination in every other state. So giving him Utah doesn't make sense to me. So, look, I don't assume anything. Go and vote. Go and make your voice heard. I do know in early voting, the early voting numbers show that more Republicans are showing up than Democrats. That's interesting to me. So we'll talk to Dick Morris about that and about so much more. Losing Utah, is that a game? Is that a game changer? Is that a game ender? for Donald Trump. It looks like he's ahead now in Florida. Looks like he is pulled ahead in Ohio, which is stunning. Still a very long shot in Pennsylvania, and that's a problem. He's going to need Pennsylvania. He's going to need just about every state he could possibly get. Let me go to the phone lines here before we hit a break and have Dick Morris at the bottom of the hour. It's going to be Kelly, who's in San Antonio. Kelly, what's going on? Hi.
Hi, just I wanted to call and let you know my husband and I were poll watching on the first day of early voting at Wonderland Mall. And immediately upon arrival at the voting location, there was, problems right away. There was a line of people that wanted to cancel their mail-in ballots to vote in person. Now, with the mail-in ballot, you have to request the ballot, you get the ballot, you fill the ballot out, you mail the ballot in, and all of a sudden they show up and want to cancel. I found that very odd. Then there was a man that showed up that had zero identification, none. He had an ATM card for Bank of America. Now,
but that's not identification. He has to fill out. A legal document. No. If you don't have identity, hello, listen to me, Kelly. Stop it. Come on, let me tell you what the rule is. I know that you think you understand, but I'm telling you, he would not have been able to vote if he didn't fill out this piece of paper. He has to have
reasonable impediment.
No, there is no reason why he's there, right?
Yeah,
he fills it out,
right.
And then he can go and vote. Now, that can be challenged later. So if he didn't have any identification at all, he has to fill that out, and that can be challenged later. But that's the law.
Before he filled it out, he said, I have my driver's license at home, which automatically disqualifies him for a reasonable impediment affidavit. That's what I'm telling you.
Did they make him go home?
No, they let him vote. And he got on the phone with the election head in Bexar County, Jacqueline Callanan, and the alternate judge. There's one judge Dem, one judge Republican. She put on there in big letters, per Jacqueline Callanan, because she challenged her.
I appreciate it. Hey, listen, Kelly, I got to run. You know why? Because you're giving me all this stuff that I can't prove any of this. And I love you, and I love that you called in, but I got to run to a break here anyway. But you're giving me this anecdotal stuff that I just can't prove. I appreciate it. We're coming right back.